Okay, I think we're gonna kick off. Um, Hello everyone. I hope you enjoyed that little music at the start. Got us all in the festive mood. So welcome to our third webinar of our Road to Holiday series, the full funnel focus, the audience on X. So in this series that we are going to be highlighting why X is the must-have platform for your business during the year's biggest consumer moments. So our goal is to equip you with practical insights and actionable takeaways to help your business shine through this holiday season. So far in our webinar series, some of you may have already been there, but we covered setting up your first campaign for success, our X Pixel, which is the key ingredient to supercharge your campaign's performance through the holiday season. Okay, so to start off with some introductions, I am Shauna. I am a partner manager here at X. I have been at X for over 3 years. Some of you may recognize me from the previous 2 webinars, and I am going to continue to be a face that you'll probably get sick of by the end of the series. But today I'm absolutely thrilled to introduce our 2 amazing guest speakers. We have Leslie Mercado, who is our Senior Sales Director with over 15 years experience helping businesses achieve real success online. Then we have Marty. So Marty is our expert on X's suite of products, and then how our audience actually engages with those products. So they're going to dive into your business, how your business can leverage our X's diverse audience at every stage of the funnel, no matter where you are. So whether it's awareness, consideration, or conversions. So I'll let the ladies introduce themselves.
Sorry about that. Hi, everybody. I'm so excited that you've joined us for our Road to Holiday webinar series. Like Shauna said, my name is Leslie Mercado. I have the pleasure of leading our sales team for our medium and small businesses here at X. And we're so excited to share how you can take advantage of our platform for the holidays. So very excited you've made the time, and I'll hand it over to Marty.
Thanks, Leslie. Yes, thank you all again for making the time. My name is Marty Agnew, as Shauna mentioned. Coming up on a year at X, and I help lead our product go-to-market strategy. So that's executing across our ad tech as well as our consumer-facing products. And then in this instance, I lead some of the sales enablement around the audiences on X. So I'm excited to take you guys through that today as well. Toss it back to Shauna.
Great. Okay, so let's chat about the agenda. So today we are going to explore how our holiday shoppers are active on the platform. We're going to explore like what they're saying, how to guide them straight to your products. And on our platform, it isn't just about being visible, it's how we engage strategically. So we're going to start off by setting the scene, as I said, how audiences actually use the platform, and then who are the users, what are they actually interested in, and then how to connect with them. And then at the end, we are going to have some time for a Q&A. Okay, so before we get started, well, let's talk about some housekeeping. So we're going to share the full presentation after today's session. So please refrain from recording or taking any screenshots throughout the webinar. You will get a chance at the end to submit questions using the Q&A feature down at the bottom, and then we'll do our best to address them, or we have a team that can follow up afterwards. So as part of our Road to Holiday series, and you've probably heard me harp on about this before, but you are able to book a one-on-one consultation with our X ad specialists. So all you have to do is scan the QR code at the end, enter your details, and then our experts will reach out to you directly. They will discuss your advertising goals. They will offer some tailor recommendations and help you get your campaign set up for success throughout the holiday season. Alrighty, so let's get cracking. Okay, so as I said, we're going to dive into how our users or your potential customers use the platform. So X is the place where you discover what's new first when it's actually happening. It's where brands big moments come to life in real time, which allows them to drive excitement like no other platform. So we did a survey with GWI, and the survey said 35% of respondents report seeing people talk about new product launches on X when they're actually happening. So you probably know that there has been a couple of big launches recently, and there's been a lot of conversation on our platform when it's actually happening. So this happens far more on X than any other platform. So for example, it's 9% higher than TikTok, 6% higher than Facebook, 6% higher than Instagram, and 2% higher than Reddit. So it is the real-time engine of entertainment and culture that is X. So it's far from storytelling to engagement to discovery to discussion. X creates the perfect ecosystem where you connect with this influential and then also action-driven audience. So what makes our audience different than other platforms out there? So our audience, and again, as I said, your potential customers are leaned in, they are ready to discover your business. So we can see that they are 25% more likely to discover brands through ads on social media versus non-X users. They are 33% more likely to discover brands through recommendations versus non-X users, and they are 36% more likely to use social media to find products. So this means that our users are engaged and they're also curious. So again, why does this matter to you, or why does this matter during the holiday season? So this shows that our X users are natural sharers. So this makes our platform a powerful hub for when it comes to amplifying your brand. So our users are 2 times more likely to share their experiences through social posts as a way of word of mouth, and they are 18 times more likely to recommend products that they believe in. So again, this means that our users aren't just vocal about brands that they love, they also influence their networks. So their reviews and their recommendations extend your reach beyond your immediate audience. And then it also gives you credibility, which can build trust, which creates a ripple effect, creating social buzz around this shopping rush. So by tapping into X, you can connect with a very loyal and engaged users that essentially boosts your brand's visibility. So the audience on X, they don't just browse, they actually influence and they act. So when they see a new product or a launch, they are the first ones to spring into action. They are 33% of them search for it online after they see the ad. 32% of them visit the product's website directly, and then 18% watch a trailer or a teaser, and 16% of them share it with friends and family. So again, nearly 2/3 of our users, so 65%, will then go and research the products straight after, or go on directly onto the product site after seeing the ad. So this shows us that our users have the unique ability to spark curiosity and then start driving engagement. And again, especially throughout the holiday rush. So they are influential and they're also action driven, which makes our platform the standout platform when it comes to delivering like real results for your brand. So again, our audience, much like myself, love to shop. They don't, not only do they actually love to shop, they also love to shop online specifically. So again, we can see here that 58% of our users prefer to shop online. So that is 25% more likely than our non-X users. We have 38% that are more likely to buy directly from the brand websites. And then we have 19% that are more likely to shop online weekly. Again, I would fall under that 19%. So again, what does this mean for you? So it means that when it comes to these big e-commerce moments, your audience the X audience are the right audience to be showing your products to at that time. So not only are our audience, do they love to shop, we also have a very young and influential audience. So we can see here our audience skews younger than, again, when we compare to our competitors, and they have a higher average income when we compare to other platforms. So they are 84% more likely to have a higher income than when we compare them to our X users. So again, it means that your audience is ready to buy. Okay, so when you think about audience overlap, it's easy to assume that most people are on every single platform. But here's the thing, X users reach people that you can't find anywhere else. So when you don't advertise on X, you could miss out on customers that are exclusive to the platform. So for example, we see here that 36% of our users are not reachable on TikTok. So again, this shows that there's a distinct reach with our platform that you're missing out on. So by advertising on X during the holiday season, you can tap into our unique engagement that will amplify your brand during, again, these big retail moments. So you can see here that the data shows that advertising on X generates 7.2 times more mentions than when you don't. So creating a social buzz actually has a ripple effect throughout social media, and it keeps your brand top of mind especially when it comes to the holiday and the festive rush. So advertisers see 3 times more website visits and their mentions spike when they advertise on X. And this essentially drives the users further down the funnel, which then has an impact on the shopping behavior. So keep that in mind, as X is your go-to platform when it comes to boosting your share of voice and ensuring that your message stands out throughout the whole holiday season when there's so much noise going on, and making sure that you connect with the customers when it matters most. Okay, so we kind of went through there how our users behave on the platform and how they behave on the platform. So now I'm going to hand you over to Marty. So Marty's our senior product marketing manager, as we said. So she's going to chat through who these people are.
Awesome. Thanks, Shauna. Yeah, so let's take a closer look at who exactly is on X and how they engage with verticals. Thanks. X's audience span across a variety of identities and interests. So now we're going to take a deeper dive into the layered interests of some of these key audiences on X. And as Shauna said, how they engage with different verticals on the platform. So up first, we've got travel fans. So these users are highly engaged with travel as a key interest. They're 10 times more likely to post about fashion and beauty, 8 times more likely to share about food, just over 6.5 times more likely to post about music, and almost 6 times more likely to talk about gaming. So this diverse, super passionate travel audience offers a fantastic opportunity to connect with those travel enthusiasts and beyond on X. Now foodies. So these passionate food lovers are also highly active on X. They're 7 times more likely to post about fashion and beauty, 7 times more likely to share travel experiences, and just over 5.5 times more likely to post about music, and 5 times more likely to talk about gaming. So we've got some very interesting intersections there in terms of overlap with foodies and other verticals on the platform. Next, we have gamers. These dedicated players are also engaged on X. They're 5.5 times more likely to post about fashion and beauty, 5 times more likely to share about travel experiences, almost 5 times more likely to share about food, and 4 times more likely to talk about music. So this gaming community is also incredibly dynamic, some surprising overlap there with verticals on the platform as well. And it also is going to open up some exciting avenues to connect with gamers on X during the holiday season. And then finally, we've got some overlap to hone in on fashion and beauty fans on X. This fashion forward community also highly active. They're 11 times more likely to post about travel, 9 times more likely to share about food, and 8 times more likely to post about music, and 7 times more likely to talk about gaming. So also some interesting intersections there tied to our fashion and beauty fans and those top interests and verticals there on the platform. And then to close out our audience overview, we wanted to take you through 3 of the primary groups on X that have immense impact when it comes to shaping trends and buying power on the platform, especially leading into the holiday surge. So first up, we've got women on X. Women on X are diverse and dynamic on X, and they're shaping trends. We've got 81% of women on X are interested in food and beverage, 54% are interested in beauty and cosmetics, 49% in business and finance, 45% tech, and then following there, 36% in reality TV, and 13% in betting. And then finally, last thing about women, they're 75% more likely to use social media to see content from their favorite brands on X, and 51% more likely to find products to purchase, 46% more likely to buy advertised brands. Next, we've got our sports cohorts, our sports fans on X. This is big going into the holiday season. NFL's picking up. We see a huge surge in engagement on the platform there. Sports fans on X are also a very dynamic group. 60% of X users are interested in sports, are also interested in fashion. 50% of sports fans are gamers, and an impressive 69% are also interested in technology, offering sort of a perfect blend of interest for targeted marketing during the year's biggest sports moments. And then to really hammer that point home, sports is the top conversation on the platform, and X users are 95% more likely to be sports fans than non-X users. This makes X the perfect home for your next campaign during those always-on sports season moments or the next major sporting event. If you invest in sports, you must invest in X. We now want to share some great information around the major intersection on X when it comes to retail, fashion, and sports. So X users are 80% more likely to plan a sportswear or fashion-related purchase versus non-X users, and 32% of X users list fashion as a core interest. So this vibrant intersection of interest makes X a prime platform for targeted engagement around the holidays. Okay, and now this is one of my favorite things to talk about. For our last and ever-growing audience cohort on the platform, Gen Z. So Gen Z on X is a vibrant, trend-setting audience. We've seen 8% year-over-year growth, comprised of, and 1/3 of our platform's user base is Gen Z also. So something significant to think about there. With diverse interests in sports, pop culture, gaming, and more, Gen Z is actively shaping cultural moments and trends in real time. They're 50% more likely to engage with brand content on social compared to Gen Z users on other platforms, making X a prime channel for impactful messaging. Notably, 19% of X's Gen Z audience doesn't use TikTok, so this offers a super unique incremental reach. And then to connect with Gen Z, you've got to create authentic, dynamic content, especially video that resonates with their multifaceted passions. And then we've got one more tidbit on Gen Z. So topical interests of Gen Z on X. This group's got a wide range of passion. They've got a standout affinity for music, gaming, tech, film, and fitness. Music leads there at 74%, followed by gaming at 61%. And then in Q4 of 2024, X ranked number 1 for top brands catching Gen Z's attention per ad age. And Gen Z on X is also 46% more likely to use social media to see content from their favorite brands compared to non-X Gen Z users. And finally, to wrap it up, now's the time to get ahead of the holiday surge and the year's biggest sports moments to tap into these influential and leaned-in audiences on X. So thanks. That was our little spiel about everybody that's on X. I will now toss it to Leslie.
Thanks, Marty. Amazing. So Shauna took us through what our users are doing on the platform, how they are ever more engaged in what we have to offer, even in comparison to our competitors. And then Marty brought us through some of these key audiences that we know matter to your business and we believe will matter in particular for the upcoming holiday season. So now my goal is to bring it home and connect all of the dots on exactly what are you going to do with all this information and how you can take advantage of the X advertising platform. So before I do that, I really am excited to share some of these incredible stats about our platform's performance just in the last couple of months. I'm not sure how many of you are aware, but we are a sister company of XAI, and as a result, we get to benefit from all of the great things that Grok, the XAI platform, has to offer. So X advertising is now powered by the smartest AI in the world, and we're really seeing the results from that. You can see here on the slide, just in the last quarter alone, we've seen a tremendous increase in the number of conversions coming from web objective campaigns. These are active campaigns for trying to drive people to buy, and we're seeing a huge increase in conversions. With that, we're also seeing more efficiency for the advertisers that are running those type of campaigns. So more conversions at a cheaper cost. I know many of you might have app businesses. We're also seeing tremendous improvements in our app business, a very, very significant reduction here, over 30% less cost per installs for apps. And holistically, we're seeing CPMs for brand campaigns lower as well across the platform. So we're really excited, and it's a fantastic time to test the platform or to come back to it if you have not run a campaign in a while, because we've made some really great improvements. So let's talk about how to do it. If there's one thing you take away, I hope that you take away the fact that the holiday season and marketing in general on X is not a one and done strategy. It's about taking advantage of the unique opportunity that we have on X to connect with massive cultural moments that bring people from all walks of life to the platform, and doing that with big moment marketing. So using our video capabilities, using our higher impact capabilities to really make sure that you're surrounding that topic and giving a voice for your brand and connecting your brand to some of these really important moments for your customers, and supplementing that with what we call an always on strategy. So we know these moments in time, cultural moments in time, seasonal moments in time are one way to connect, but we know and have seen the impact of having both a moment-based strategy and always on strategy. So think about having key audience campaigns, sales campaigns running consistently to be able to take advantage of the full funnel impact of the platform. And we've seen when people do this, we actually analyzed over 2,500 campaigns, and we saw that when advertisers execute this dual strategy, they have huge increases in favorability, brand message association, ad recall, and purchase intent. 2x purchase intent is huge, right? That's ultimately what we're all trying to drive our customers to do, is to buy from your brand. So if there's anything you remember from this, it's that you can't just be in one moment on X. It's being there for those big moments, but also making sure you have an always on presence to make sure you can capture the real value of the conversations and the purchase intent on the platform. So like I mentioned, full funnel is something that we can do, and I believe that we can uniquely do that for you with our really innovative suite of products across both awareness, consideration, and conversion. So if you are a user of the X platform, I'm sure you've seen some of these formats yourselves. On the awareness side, we have really beautiful takeover, high impact units. We have our amplify audiences, which allow you to pair your content with audiences that really matter. Moving into consideration, we have video ads that can run full screen, that can run in feed. We also have multi-image collection ads and carousel ads. And then on the conversion side, we are able to drive website traffic using website cards overlaid on your ad creative. And we'll talk a little bit more later about dynamic product ads, which we're really excited about and is a huge priority for our company right now, which is to essentially make sure we're putting the right products in front of customers so that they can buy from you on X. So we'll talk through a couple examples of ad formats and strategies and the impact that we've seen advertisers be able to get from running these different full funnel solutions on X. Okay, one thing on awareness, I did talk about some of our awareness strategies like timeline takeovers and high impact placements, but I want everyone to know you've come to the webinar to get a pro tip, and we're sharing that here, which is that if you are looking for something that's more upper funnel, more awareness based, we would really encourage you to test out running ads and replies. It's a very easy toggle that you can do in your accounts to be able to enable your campaigns to tap into this inventory. And as you can see here on the slide, it is really efficient compared to some of our home timeline ads, over 30% more efficient CPMs and really strong click-through rates. So this is a great way to get in front of a lot of customers at an efficient way, especially as we think about the cost increases that I know everyone is aware of and has experienced at the end of the year when advertisers are amping up their spending for the holiday season. So this is a great one to make sure you test out if you haven't already. We'll spend a lot more time on consideration and conversion solutions because I assume that's what a lot of you have come to this webinar to learn about, since we are trying to drive purchases for your business this holiday season. So I believe Marty touched on this, and so did Shauna, but X is really a video first platform. And you can see here in the numbers that we are putting video for advertisers at the forefront of our solutions. So we're really excited to be able to share these stats, which is that video consumption on the platform is increasing at a huge clip. And video views in total year over year are growing almost 40%. So this tees us up really nicely for the holiday season. And if you have video creative, I would definitely encourage you to test it on X. We accept formats that you're likely running on other platforms too. So it's a great way to extend and reach that incremental audience that Marty and Shauna were talking about that we have uniquely on X. So because video is so big, we are of course leaning in to make sure that there are video solutions that enable you to drive purchases. So we'll talk about some examples of vertical video ads, which you can see here on the left. And as I've mentioned, website cards, which you can overlay over your video ads as well. And just within the retail category, in this last year, we've seen over 1 billion video views, which is huge. This is a really, really big market for you to be able to tap into. And as we talked about, there is so much incremental reach and audiences you can reach on X that you're not getting anywhere else. So these are two great ways to utilize video to pull people down the purchase path. And we've got some really great advertiser case studies. These are just in the last couple of weeks, and I'm excited to say BodySpec is actually one of my team's customers that we work with. So BodySpec, you can see, was running one of their fantastic video creatives, and because of all the platform improvements we talked about, they've actually seen a 90% reduction in cost per purchase from June to August. 90% cost per purchase reduction. That is huge. And we're really excited to see the improvements we're making to our platform materialize and impact for our customers like BodySpec. And it's affecting their bottom line. So they've actually seen a 70% increase in their return on ad spend over the last 3 months. So the proof is very much in the pudding for our advertisers. And this is a great example of how this is turning into business results for customers like BodySpec. I think we have another great example, which is with Rancher Chips, who also ran, as you can see, a video with a website card overlaid. And again, massive increases here in their conversion rate, almost 300% increase in their conversion rate quarter to date, and a 3x return on ad spend. So really exciting examples and ones that hopefully inspire you to test running video on X this holiday season. All right, we'll shift into what is my favorite part of our ad solutions, which is that lower funnel conversion driving capability. So we have 2 solutions in particular that we would encourage you to consider if you're looking to drive shopping purchases this holiday season. So one is our dynamic product ads, which we will get into a bit more here. And the other, as I've talked about, is website cards, which is a really simple way to make sure that you're driving users to your website from ads on X. Let's talk about dynamic product ads. So I have to tell you, this is a huge area of focus for us right now. X's goal is to become the best shoppable platform for you as an advertiser and as a consumer by making sure that we can deliver the right products to customers based off of their intent and their browsing behavior. So you'll have a better ad experience as a customer, and you'll be able to drive better ROI for your campaigns as a marketer. So these are the 3 products that you can run right now with dynamic product ads. And as you can see on the slide, 2 of them are entirely new. We did not have single product ads or collection ads only a couple of months ago. So really exciting that you can feature your products in 3 different ways on X and utilize, like I mentioned at the start of my section, utilize Grok, all of the AI technology and learnings that we have to be able to make sure we are serving the right product from your catalog to the customers. So as you can see here on the right-hand side, we've actually seen a really strong increase in click-through rates for dynamic product ad campaigns compared to our other conversion products. So 40% more clicks coming from these product ads, which is really exciting. And if you haven't run this yet, we have a team of folks who could help you figure out how to connect your catalog and make the most of this really exciting new format for us on X. Awesome. And like I mentioned, website cards, this is absolutely a best practice to utilize with any of the ad formats that you want to use to drive action. So making sure that we can not only showcase your brand and your product image or video, but that we're driving people to your website to convert. So you can see here a great example from Zox, actually last holiday season, that they saw almost a 4x improvement in return on ad spend when they implemented this, and a significant decrease in their cost per purchase. So definitely make sure that you utilize website cards for anything lower funnel that you plan on running this holiday season. And we've got another great example of advertiser that did this and saw great results, which was 8 Sleep. As you can see here, this is a high-end bed company, and they also saw really significant cost reductions, 60% and 3x improvement on their ROAS from their video ads with website card overlays. So again, it's a perfect time to test X. We've had tremendous improvements in our platform's performance overall, and we've got these really exciting ad formats that you can utilize for full funnel campaigns. Oh, we've got one more great example to round us out, which is also one of our wonderful customers that my team works with. This is Mack Weldon, who actually utilized X advertising in conjunction with their Shopify store, since we have a integration with Shopify that makes it really seamless for you to be able to connect your catalog and implement pixels with just a couple of clicks of a button. So they saw great results as well, again, utilizing our website cards, over 3x return on ad spend, and a very efficient CPM under $2. So if it hasn't sunk in yet, there's a lot of advertisers using these solutions on X, and they're seeing really, really strong results. So excited that you'll be able to test these soon for your business this holiday. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up with really a summation of like, what do I do now? There's all these formats, Leslie. You've talked about all these different audiences. There's moments, there's always on. What do I do? Well, the one thing that I want to make sure you understand, and if you joined any of our previous holiday webinars, is that Q4 and holiday is more than Black Friday and Cyber Monday. People are shopping for holiday gifts. People are in market way earlier than they have been ever before. So when you think about running a campaign on X, there are 3 unique phases that you want to consider. And again, think about the strategy holistically across the entire quarter. So it's a perfect time right now to launch campaigns and learn. So utilizing these next couple of weeks to learn how the platform works for you, learn what some of the baseline cost efficiencies can be. And I will stress that during that learning period, the most important thing is to not make any changes to your campaigns, because we are leveraging Grok and we're using all of our algorithms and learnings to be able to optimize your campaigns. But leaving them alone for those first 2 weeks is really critical for our system to be able to do that. Then that middle period, which is around optimizing, and ideally optimizing before peak moments like Black Friday and Cyber Monday, so that you are running with the most efficient targeting and setup before peak holiday season. So usually using 2 to 4 weeks after your initial learning period to make adjustments to your creative, make adjustments to your bid strategy and targeting strategy, and being able to feel confident at that point that you can increase your budgets and launch some of those moment-based campaigns that are maybe more awareness or consideration campaigns, to really make sure that you're surrounding big moments like Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And then for the rest of the holiday season, as we know, there's late shoppers, there's demand for products throughout Q4. Having optimized your campaigns already, you will be able to benefit from having that sustained always on presence and see the performance continue throughout the rest of the quarter. So it's all about running moment-based, always on, and giving yourself the benefit of time to make sure you have time to learn, optimize, and really have the best campaign setup that you can sustain for the remainder of the quarter. And that was it for me. But before I hand it back to Shauna, I want to highlight the fact that you are currently on the road to holiday, our first time at X doing an entire holiday webinar series. And there's a lot of great content coming up next. So on October 15th, we have a conversion focused webinar. Again, a great time to launch campaigns. Come to this webinar to make sure you understand all of the different conversion products. We only scratched the surface here today, and make sure that you're set up for success from a tracking standpoint to launch these campaigns and have a great holiday season with X. And then moving forward, we're going to have some more webinars in October and November that will continue to give you best practices on both organic posts on X and your ad creative on X to make sure that those two things are working in harmony. And then we're really excited and hard at work on putting together our formal holiday playbook so that we can pull together all of the content that you've seen from our webinars and put it in one place for you to be able to have handy as you execute and optimize and grow your business on X. So with that, I'll hand it over to Shauna.
Alrighty. So now it's time for our Q&A. So I'm just gonna check and see. I'll have a look at our Q&A. Okay, so first question is, do you have data on ad carousels from products on websites versus video, and which one typically converts better? So the way I would, I suppose, answer this question is that we would recommend that you would, I suppose, always go into the platform with like a test and learn mindset. I would recommend that you use both and see which works best for your brand and then which works well for your actual audience. So our best practice, we would say, is that you'd have 2 to 4 formats per campaign. And then you can see which one actually works best for which audience at what time. Then let me see. Somebody asked us about, is it like a DIY, is there a DIY audience on the platform? And there definitely is. That is what makes X so unique, is that there is every type of person on the platform, and the conversation that is living on the platform, you will find people that are interested in that particular thing, and there's definitely conversation happening. There is, I know for a fact, we've had, I don't have the stats on me right now, but there is, we have a lot of DIY audience members on our on the platform. So just if you put in your details into that form, I'll share it in the chat as well. We can get one of our ad specialists to kind of come back to you on that if you want. Let's see. Do you have any campaign examples on the healthcare space or hospital marketing? Again, we have it depends on kind of exactly who you're looking for, but we have a huge audience on like healthcare and decision makers in healthcare. Again, if you want to put in your details, we can see if we can share some actual stats directly with you on this particular audience. Oh, what do you mean what do you mean to don't change your strategy for 1 to 2 weeks? Leslie, do you want to take that, or will I?
Yeah, I'll hop back on. So as we mentioned, right, and with digital marketing, all of our platform optimizations are based off of our algorithms, and Grok, which is our AI technology, is what's powering that. So what we really need in those first two weeks, and this is something that Google and Meta do, having spent 15 years myself at Google, I can tell you, we said, don't touch them for 1 to 2 weeks as well. But really, we're trying to give our algorithms time to learn and optimize off of the initial learning data from your campaign. So if you're making tweaks to the campaigns, changing ad creative, changing your daily budgets, adjusting or changing any of your targeting, that means you basically kick yourself back into a learning period. And our algorithm sees that as almost a new campaign. So really giving yourself, you know, doing the best you can to not touch that mouse for 1 to 2 weeks, give yourself some initial learnings that then can fuel the optimizations that you want to make for that next couple of weeks optimization window.
Cool. There is another question on government agency. Again, I think it's Bruno. Again, if you want to just put your details into that QR code and complete the form, we will direct you to a real person, someone from our team. Our ad specialist team will come back to you. And let me see, there is. Somebody else said, I'd love to see some data around healthcare professionals as well, especially oncologists, if possible. So that's Sylvia. So again, as I said, there is definitely a healthcare audience on the platform, a lot of conversation that's happening. So again, because of the, I guess, suppose uniqueness of this, if you fill in the form, Sylvia, I see you put your email in there. If you fill in the form through the QR code, then we can get our team to come back to you with a personalized strategy, and we can give you kind of more details around that audience in particular.
Shauna, there's a question about home service businesses that I thought I'll just pop on and speak about while you're looking at the rest of the questions. So obviously this is a holiday focused and retail focused webinar given just the time of the year. But I do want to emphasize that because we have so many unique audiences and such a high percentage of reach, that even for something like a home services business, you can leverage X to at least increase awareness for your business within your serviced market, and using some of those more awareness and consideration driving formats to be able to place your ads in front of people again that maybe expressed interest or browsing content that's relevant, or at least are in your area and fit the demo that you think is your target audience. So definitely not just a retail focused platform. It's just the webinar was more focused on that given the time of the year. So definitely would consider testing out something that's more local based and more awareness driving for something like home services.
Okay. So I think we are, let me see. So do you have plans on having commerce integration for purchasing APIs tied with your advertising? So we actually have a Shopify integration on our platform. And again, our webinar on the 15th of October is going to be focused on that. So if your e-commerce integration is through Shopify, definitely fill in the QR code or fill in the form with your details, and we can get somebody to outreach to you directly and help you get that set up. Because yeah, it's sometimes these things can be tricky to get set up. So make sure that you reach out directly and we can have somebody help you make sure it's all set up for you. Okay, I think that's kind of it for the questions. Thank you everybody so much for your time and sitting here with us and chatting through our audience on X. So again, we are thrilled to be able to share with you how your business can grow over the holiday season. So again, I want to make sure that, I know I've said this over and over again, but to be able to do that and be able to thrive, we want to make sure that we have or enable you with the support that you need. So if you, again, fill out that form, our team will come back to you with some personalized support and recommendations. And yeah, we also have a holiday hub as well, which you can utilize. Our lovely Jenna here can put it into the chat. So go over there and make sure you check out all of the resources that we have that can help you your business grow. So yeah, thank you again, and we will see you guys soon.